So I showed you the before, now I'm going to show you the after. But before I do that, I'm going to give you, I drew that. There we go, self-promotion. So, now for the after. Way! And my pretty fairy lights. Yeah, so as you can see, the sofa bed has been dismantled and has been put away. Actually, I'll show you where I put it away. Ta-da! I had to move my bed forward because it was against the wall, so I had to move it forward. I'm just going to put this down now, nice and gently. So everything that I need to do has gone into that box right there. So things like, for example, I mentioned many videos ago about buying a glucose tester and a ketone meter as well, and I did buy one and it did arrive and it's just sitting in that box. So I have to get the control solution, and yeah, as soon as I've got that up and running, you'll know, because you'll start hearing results. So when I started my first 9-day fast, I hadn't prepared. I decided to do it overnight on a whim, like literally starting the next day. And because I wasn't prepared, I had lots of food in my fridge that needed to be eaten. And as you can guess, by day 6, by day 7, you're going, if I don't do something with this food, it's going to go to waste. And I don't like wasting food. I care about the planet a lot. I do believe in global warming. I can see it. I can see it all around me. I can see it in South Africa. I can't deny it. So therefore, I'm going to do whatever I can to play my part, not waste food and use less water and use less electricity. You know, even petty stuff like that all make a difference. One voice is, you know, times by 1,000 is 1,000 voices, but you have to start with a voice. You have to start with one step. Yeah, because otherwise you'll never get to 1,000. Anyway, so I wasn't prepared physically with food being in my fridge. So when I started this 40-day fast, I learned from that, and I gave myself 2 days to cook things, freeze things, give away things, literally clear out my fridge to get a clean conscience, and that worked. What I've now noticed with this 40-day fast is that mentally I didn't sort out my fridge, you could say. There was stuff that I needed to do, and what I've noticed is that you can see my socks hanging in the background, drying out. And what I noticed is that now, when time goes on, you realize that there are things that you can't just put off indefinitely. So all of these things have been catching up for me. Even though I've been deleting a lot of emails and not responding to and not instigating conversations so that you're not receiving any responses and keeping that minimal, and it's a good thing I'm not working anyway, so there aren't many emails flooding in at the moment anyway, so that's beneficial. But yeah, what I didn't plan for literally mentally the stuff that I need to do, and that's what caught up with me, and that's what caused a lot of my stress. I'm not too really worried about like finances, because at the end of the day you can't just make money fall out of the sky. It is what it is. I'm selling my bed because that is what I can do. That is what is in my power to do in this situation. And the reason why I'm still living in this place is because I have a really good landlord, and I always knew that if something were to happen, that he would be one of the better landlords to be stuck with in that kind of situation. And so far, yeah, I have been able to pay my rent in full every single month. But we have had the conversation that my work is no longer going to pay me. And we have had that conversation. He was really helpful in it. Even though he's still a landlord, and, you know, he obviously still wants money. So that is my thought for the day. If you're fasting, I actually have a few more thoughts for the day. I'm actually going to have to move my laptop because I'm going to get my journal. I'm really sorry, guys. Talk about amateur blogging. Oh, that's me. Yeah. So, yes, this is a good reason why I opened my journal. So I was thinking this morning, I was praying with God, And I was like, God, even though this fast isn't anything like what I imagined it to be, there's a reason why I've stopped losing so much weight. Like, I tend to be hovering around the same weight, and that's because I'm eating one meal a day, because I'm working such stupid hours, like till 6 a.m. in the morning and 2 a.m. in the morning, and dealing with everything. And look, today I finally dealt with it. Like I said in my earlier video, I was like, enough, I want to stop eating one meal a day. I just want to go back to fasting. I really enjoyed scratching ear again, fasting, like proper, like starvation kind of fasting. I actually really enjoyed it. It was just so relaxing, and I really could do with more of that relaxation. So I was praying with God, like, God, anybody watching my videos would go, it's one meal a day, oh my gosh, she's not hardcore enough, you know, who's this chick kind of trying to kid? And I was like, how do I tell everybody that I don't think I'm failing, and that I'm not actually failing just because I'm doing one meal a day? Come on, like, one meal a day is still fasting. Like, seriously, if anybody thinks it's not fasting, but yeah, moving on. So I wrote in my journal because it was bothering me for a few days, and I mentioned it in my video yesterday, but I didn't know how to explain it properly. So today I was like, God, I can't escape this subject forever. I really want to talk about it. So I asked God, like, how do I share this? Like, how do I share that I'm not failing, that I'm thriving, that I'm really doing well in this fast? How do I get that across in a believable way? And at that moment, I had this thought in response. And it was like I heard an answer. Failure is man's perspective, not God's. And I like that, because God sees sin, but there is no such thing as failure in his book. There's no such thing as failure. There is such a thing as your journey. Failure is man's perspective. So yeah, I really paused that, and I really like that, because Jesus died on the cross. I'm going to carry on reading my journal. So how do we heal ourselves from the pain of our failures in the past, for example? By submersing ourselves in his perspective. So what is his perspective? If you have made the decision to choose to believe that Jesus, Son of Man, Son of God, died on a cross, then, and rose 3 days later, then the perspective is one of grace and truth. So if you sin, then we are covered by this incredible sacrifice of Christ, who went through hell, literally, so that we can have an amazing relationship with him. Like the thoughts that I have when you go, that, like I just shared with you, like, to me, that is my conversation with God, and I get loads of these all the time. That is what I believe is communicating with God and praying with God. But I guess it might be different for somebody else. I don't know. I can only vouch for myself. So if you don't believe in Jesus, then you're kind of a little bit screwed, I think, because then you are constantly beating yourself up. You don't. Yeah, I can't vouch for other people, because I've known Jesus most of my life, basically. When I was 6 years old, somebody told me that Jesus lived in my heart, and I was like, yeah, okay. And then since then I've just had this ongoing, like, relationship with Jesus. Don't get me wrong, there was about a month in my teens where I was like, God, I'm not talking to you. And for about a month, I didn't really pray much. I think I prayed like one little prayer. But even in that whole time, I wasn't like proper angry at him. I was just kind of like, just doing like that teen thing. Like, I'm standing my ground. But my heart wasn't hardened against God in any way. And I knew that he could see that. And I knew that we were just kind of, yeah, it wasn't a serious situation then. But anyway, back on point. Failure is man's perspective. Yeah, so think about that. I'm going to leave you with that. I do not think I'm failing. I mean, my life is changing every single day. I mean, it's pretty clear when you watch from my videos. I'm so stressed out. I've had enough. Ta-da! I'm having a good time. These videos are a lot of work, mainly because up until now I have felt an incredible pressure. Like, it's supposed to be a 40-day fast and I'm just totally doing this fast the way that works for me. This is my journey. You can't judge me on my journey, because my journey is turning into an epic one, whether I'm eating one meal a day or not. But I'm really happy that I finally cleared out this mess, that I finally wrapped up that mattress in plastic wrap, so everything is ready to be loaded on a van. So there's no more manual labor. I've got nothing else. I do not need to go to the post office. I do not need to do anything else manual labor wise. So I can now relax and go back to not eating. And I am so happy. And it makes me go, oh gosh, I wonder how I'm going to wake up tomorrow. Am I going to be craving food tomorrow? You know what? I don't think so. I think I'm going to be so happy to not eat again that I'm just going to be like, celebrate good times, come on. I mean, I started dancing again. I started singing again. I'm just so much more joyful again. At the beginning of this 40-day fast, I was not like this, and I feel so much more youthful. Like, yeah, I just feel like, because I was doing this fast because I had comfort food problems, and I'm just like, why? That everything's just like, there's no need to stress about it. Like, I think normal thoughts about food again. Just like, if I'm not hungry, just don't eat it. Like, it would be better to just give it away. I'm gonna go now before you guys think I'm on drugs again. I'm not. You can only just believe me. And I will check in with you tomorrow.